this really isn't about just office. It's about the full business ecosystem here in the city. If you have high quality office space, you're going to be able to retain and attract those companies. A strong office market supports workforce attraction and retention.
That's the voice of Jennifer Alexander. She's the business development manager for the city of Sugar Land, Texas. In today's episode, we're chatting about Sugar Land's new approach to office inventory and incentivizing upgrades. That's in an effort to align their land use with the community's long-term goals and preserve those industrial areas for companies who need that type of space the most. Welcome back to Inside America's Best Cities. I'm Amanda Ellis of Livability Media. We are your partner for telling your community's stories, attracting talent, and getting your place in front of the right people. You may want to check out our just released Best Places to Live in 2026, linked up in the show notes, which happens to feature Sugar Land at number 3, amongst many other amazing small to mid-sized cities. And with that, let's jump into our episode. Welcome, Jennifer, to Inside America's Best Cities. We're super excited to chat with you about your new Office Readiness Program. Launched last month, right?
Yeah, brand new. We just launched it. And so the program is out and it's live, and we're really starting to have some conversations. I'm really excited.
Awesome. Well, we know there are many great things about Sugar Land. We have just recently launched our Top 100 Best Places to Live in the U.S. in 2026. Sugar Land ranked at number 3 out of the entire country, which we're going to be talking a little bit more about later. So this is a very timely interview about some of the many awesome things that are going on there. To kick us off, Jennifer, can you just share an overview of the program? What sparked the creation of something like this?
Absolutely. The program really came about because of a shift in the office market that we were seeing. Post-COVID, the way people used office space, it really changed. People were more hybrid. The environments that they were in, there were fewer people in the office during the week. And essentially, the demand really shifted more to that flight to quality, as we would like to say. Tenants are choosing newer, amenitized properties. And so the older buildings are truly struggling, and they have higher vacancies. With less than 4% land left here in the city, it was just truly a strategic decision to redevelop and modernize our existing inventory. And so with that, we have 2 pathways to the program. One is a tenant path, and the other is a property owner path. Both of the pathways offer up to 50% reimbursement on eligible improvements. That's typically tied to real performance, so job investment, long-term commitment, essentially. But really, the ROI on this is truly to improve the quality of our office space and our environment and reduce the vacancies that we're seeing.
That makes a lot of sense. And I know it's something a lot of places are looking at, right? Their available property. And you can make more buildings, but you can't make more land.
Right.
So looking at how you're allocating that is really neat. Talk a little bit more about how these incentives are tied to performance. It looked like some different 5 to 10 year benchmarks that they strive for. How does that part work?
Yeah, so what that really means is it is a one-time incentive, but it's more of a partnership. So these agreements typically run anywhere from 5 to 10 years. We want to remain flexible, but again, the market has changed. We're not seeing the 15-year leases anymore. So anywhere between 5 to 10 years, that's really what we're thinking we're going to see. Company and property owners, they would need to meet specific commitments. So that's job creation, job retention, occupancy, capital investment. There's always an annual reporting to our performance agreements, and incentives are reimbursed based on meeting those benchmarks. So a company would obviously be required to meet all of those, and should they not, of course, we always have clawbacks. Anytime there's a public investment that's tied directly to something, we need to make sure that we have real measurable outcomes, really just making sure that we hold each other accountable, but it's truly a partnership.
What types of upgrades or improvements are you hoping for or suggesting, or maybe have you already seen?
Yeah, so we really want to make sure that this is a program that's going to move the needle. This is not a maintenance. We're not talking carpet and paint on the walls. We really are trying to think infrastructure, modernizing lobbies, shared amenities, things that are truly going to move the needle for tenants to attract them and retain them. And then as it relates to property owners, we truly want to be able to reposition a property. Think building systems, making things more walkable. People are really not buying into just office space anymore. They're truly buying into an experience. And so the program, it's really just geared towards improving the overall space. Again, like the ROI is truly improving what we have with less than 4% land. We have to make a change and remain competitive in the region.
Right, which it sounds like this is really helping to support that economic identity. Anything else you would add to that? I know we kind of spoke to the land use concern, but how that higher quality office market supports growth. I mean, I would think having that in place versus maybe new businesses coming in and having to do that. So like right now you're playing on ones that are already there, but anything else you'd add on that front?
Yeah, I think that's a really important question and to note. This really isn't about just office. It's about the full business ecosystem here in the city. If you have high quality office space, you're going to be able to retain and attract those companies. Specifically in Sugar Land, we have 5 targeted industries: life sciences, technology, advanced manufacturing, business and professional services, and then tourism, which of course is led by our Visit Sugar Land team. But that's our area of focus. We want to make sure that we're targeting those businesses that we can really pull into that office space. A strong office market supports workforce attraction and retention, quality of place, which I know that we talked a little bit about, and just having a corporate presence. I mean, right now, Sugar Land is a great suburban market to Houston. I think we're really competitive, and at this point, we just want to make sure that we're staying up there and continuing to be considered.
Right. And I think this really ties into, I know we talked about your top 100 ranking and accolade a little bit, which a big part of that is quality of life, more from a talent standpoint. But I feel like this is totally part of that. I mean, we talked about how remote work has really taken root more, but to make people interested in coming into an office, it needs to be, like you said, an experience, something worth doing that. So that's just an interesting tie in there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like Sugar Land's quality of life, it's a great place to be, live, work, and play. So I'm from the area. I moved to San Antonio in Arizona for a while, and I decided to come back here and raise my family. Sugar Land it's amazing. There's a ton of parks. It's just a great family friendly place. There's a lot of good balance too. You have the great economic development tied in with great schools. Again, the incredible amenities that we have here. Sugar Land Town Square is essentially Sugar Land's downtown. It is a 32-acre development, mixed use. You have a business component, a condo residential, lots of retail. They have, shows out on the green space and the lawn. So just a really great place to bring your family, hang out, and also work. Some other great amenities that we have here in the city. We are a AAA affiliate to the Houston Astros. So we have Constellation Field. It's a minor league team here. So you can go out there, enjoy the games with your family. We have a suite out there as well. And so it's great to be able to host businesses and give back business retention to our community. Another great venue that we have is Smart Financial Center, which is an awesome concert venue. I recently saw Diana Ross there. It was amazing. So we have a lot of great stuff to offer, and it's really, truly a great place to work and to live.
Right. And something else we've really seen at Livability, we do some of our own research from a talent attraction standpoint on why people want to be where they are, what they really look for and enjoy. And something that we often see is having your own community that's maybe a little bit smaller, but also that proximity to more of a bigger city feel, which I feel like you guys are definitely capturing with that proximity to Houston, but also having a lot of your own amenities in a more manageable area.
Yeah, I think that Sugar Land was strategically placed where it is. We are 22 minutes southwest of Houston. We've naturally grown in a lot of different industries because of that proximity to Houston. We have some major highways going through the area, Highway 59, Interstate 69. And so we're really situated in a wonderful place. Being so close to Houston, we have seen a lot of healthcare, life sciences kind of grow naturally. And so it truly is a great place to be. We've also seen as it relates to the office community, there's a lot of consolidations happening. People they don't necessarily you're not looking at these moves, right? And so a lot of people are trying to bring their employees closer to home. And so being so close to Sugarland, we think that we're kind of in a great place for that. And that's why the Office Readiness Program, we think is going to be a huge hit too, as you see these larger businesses maybe pushing people closer to home, looking for smaller floor plates, things like that.
Well, and that was one of my other questions too. It looks like this program is a replacement for another policy or program you had that was more focused on corporate headquarters. Can you share more about what that was like, what that was focused on versus this shift?
Yeah, so the headquarter retention program, it was just that. It was a retention program really geared towards the headquarters that were already here. So some of the stipulations of that program were 50 or plus more primary employers having to renew the leases here. They had to make $1 million commitment in capital investment. And for that, if they went through all the criteria and we analyzed the project and wanted to move it forward, they would get $6,000 per job. That worked really well for us for a while. Companies like Nexus Water, CVR Energy, they were able to renew and they moved into Sugar Land Town Square, which is again the heart of our city. Great place to be. But we're not seeing that anymore. That's really not what the market's demanding. Kind of like I touched on, the consolidations are happening. People want those smaller footprints. They want more flexible space. They want to be able to walk, grab lunch and head to the gym and all being able to do that while they're at work. And so we realized we needed to evolve and we really just sat back and reviewed our incentive programs, which we do often. And so from there, the market essentially aligned with this office readiness program where we've moved to. A lot of research went into this, a lot of community engagement. We had a bunch of meetings with brokers, property owners. We headed up a round table, just bringing everybody in the room and making sure that we had their support and their feedback to really truly put our research in, put that hands-on feedback that we got into a program, which is what we have now, the Office Readiness Program.
Yes. How are you promoting this within the business community?
So it really truly is a boots on the ground effort, hands-on approach. Again, we're having conversations with property owners, brokers and businesses, having just a candid conversation. Going into our business park, there are a lot of office users there. And so having a conversation with them, like, is this the right place for you to be? Can we push you into a more traditional office corridor, essentially? And from there, we can also open up some land. Like I said, we have less than 4% land. And so it's an opportunity for us to get these office users into an experiential place, right? Which is what we're trying to do with the program. And then also open up some industrial land to try to bring in some other industries. And so really it's just a strategic repositioning effort for the city. Really, really boots on the ground, but truly just having conversations and kind of, being a bud in people's ear and starting to get people talking.
So when you talked about kind of freeing up some land, is there any aspect of this as you possibly consolidate people that you may actually get rid of or tear down some buildings too to open up more space?
So we are tied to Texas law as it relates to our funding. And so we ourselves, we can't necessarily tear down buildings with the sales tax, the 4A sales tax that we have. But again, it's having those conversations with those property owners for them to understand, could your building be repositioned? Should you, let's say, relocate, your tenants to the office corridor? What can you do with your building? Is it an opportunity for you to tear down your building and working with our local brokers to kind of backfill that or, however that really looks. But I think it's just the beginning. We're truly just starting off having these conversations. And so this is a pilot program. Things could change. If we do a little bit more research and see in some of the Texas laws, maybe that's an opportunity that we have. We could definitely alter the program and put that in there, but really kind of leaning on the property owners too, to kind of get creative and tell us what they'd like to see. And, it's really a proactive partnership.
Right. Very collaborative. Well, this is the first I've heard about anything quite like this. I could be wrong. Maybe there are some other communities doing something similar, but not that I've run across. So
I did a lot of research in Texas. I had not seen anything like it. I did do some research about similar programs in the state of Arizona, but it was really geared towards smaller downtowns and like streetscapes. So truly, this is the first of the kind in the region, and so we're really excited about it. Again, it's a pilot, and so we're going out there. We're going to see the kind of responses that we get. If there's anything that we need to alter, of course, we'll do that. We also have an evaluation process through our innovation department to make sure that we're really truly doing what we need to do and essentially getting the results that we need. And if not, how can we go back to the table, continue to do that research and, do some more community engagement to improve the program.
Yeah. From a BRE standpoint, too, I think it's interesting what you're talking about because, again, it's just more touch points, more opportunities to engage where you already have these relationships and, make sure everything else is going well while you're discussing this.
Yeah. So for a lot of our businesses that are already here in our business park, they themselves, they love Sugarland. They want to stay here. But again, we don't have a lot of land in our business park. It's a 1,000-acre business park. There's not a lot of room for some of these businesses to grow. And so I think this is one of those conversations where I can, present the program and say, you're already here. We know you want to continue to grow and stay here. So maybe that's relocating your office users from the business park into the office corridor. And then you can expand your manufacturing, right? Expand into your own building. So just being really strategic on those conversations with the CEOs and the property owners. It's all about maximizing what we already have and truly improving the spaces that exist here. Again, going back to that quality of place, quality of life for our businesses, it's really important.
Right. Any interesting or cool things people have planned already to do with this that you know about?
So we're starting to have conversations, like I said, but this program actually came about from a project that was led by two of my colleagues. So Sugarland Town Square is our downtown. It's the heart of the city. And so in May of 2025, there was an incentive for the Sugarland Town Square in the amount of $12.5 million. And so this was, again, to incentivize modernized office space and attract and retain for this beautiful 32-acre area. And so this is kind of where the program derived. We saw that we could do it. We saw the attention and the positivity that we were seeing from the property owner and the response from the tenants here. And we knew, this is something we can do with our funding. Let's turn it into a program. So essentially that's where it began. That's where the program came about. But again, we don't have any approved projects for this specific program, but we are interested in seeing like spec suites, shared collaborative spaces. How can we get that hospitality style, that next level office space? How can we get to those higher end finishes? So we're really excited. We know that the amenity rich experience is what everybody wants. And so, we call it Project Copper. Project Copper was really the push for this program and lots of conversation. So we're excited to see what's to come out of it.
Right. Has remote work played into any of those conversations in terms of maybe you actually don't need as any or as much office space, or like what we've already kind of covered here of the if you want people to come in, you have to have something, worth doing that for. Has that played in at all?
Yeah, I think that hybrid work, it's here to stay. We heard in one of our recent office roundtables that spec suites is really the way to go. We've heard from brokers, if there's a spec suite available, we can't have them ready fast enough. They get them leased out extremely fast. And again, it's because, the floor plates are anywhere between 5,000 to 10,000 square feet, because there's fewer people in the office. But, having an amenity rich area somewhere that's walkable, restaurants nearby, that's really our tool to kind of call these employees back into the office. If there's an experience for them, they're more likely to come. During COVID and when the hybrid work became a thing, we were all comfortable at home. We were comfortable being able to throw something in the laundry and then hit the gym. And so that's why, these office incentives, I think, are so important to make sure that the space is ready and inviting for those tenants and those employees to come in. Hybrid work is here to stay, for at least from what we're being told. And so I think the spec suites and the high-end finishes, just collaborative spaces, it's a huge selling point right now.
Right. It's so true. I know at Livability, we're primarily remote. So my office is 2 hours away from where I live. So I'm not in there that frequently. But right now I'm at a co-working space where I have a membership to, so it's funny how we like want that flexibility, but then also like I'm paying money to recreate the office
Right.
environment with people that aren't actually part of my team. And I always joke that like that does include some of the less pleasant parts of it, like, people not doing what they're supposed to with their dishes and like the
Yeah,
fridge being
right.
like crammed with other people's smelly lunches. I'm like, this is not the part that I I wanted.
No, but I mean, honestly, like what you just said, that's what this program is for. Like you found an office space close to home. That's what we want to do. Come home. We're right 22 minutes southwest of Houston, Sugar Land. It's an amazing city. A lot of great cities in our area, but we're right off of Highway 59. So get some office space close to home.
That's a great point. If another city wanted to do something similar to this, where would you say they should start?
Yeah, I think for that, it really just goes back to like, what does your community need? For me, there was a lot of research that went into this. Like I said, like a lot of community engagement. It's definitely not a one size fits all. This is more of a long-term strategy, long-term as it relates to even competitiveness. It's not something, a short-term fix. So go out into the community, talk to your business owners, leverage your relationships, chat with the brokers and the tenants, host a roundtable. That was one thing that was really great for us because we had a few different perspectives in the room together, and getting that firsthand feedback. So when we took the program to the board to get their approval and kind of their oversight, being able to tell them that we talked to the people that are ingrained here in Sugar Land and our stakeholders, it really gave them it was more well received, I would say, because they knew that we were talking to the right folks. So, do your research, get into your community, and make sure that you're designing a program that really responds to the conditions of your city. So definitely not one size fits all.
Right, right. Good advice. Anything else you'd like to add on our topic at hand before we move into our closer fun question?
No, I mean, we're just really excited about the program. I think that there's a lot of potential here. And so if there's anybody that's in the Sugar Land market, if you're looking to invest in office space, you're already invested here, definitely get in touch with me. I would love to chat.
Love it. Or if you're looking for a great new place to live, right?
Absolutely.
Number
Absolutely.
3. So we talked about this. We talked about Sugar Land and some of the great things about living there and things to do already. So if this is re-mentioning something, feel free. But our fun question is always about if someone were visiting your community for the first time, what is something you would say they should be sure to do there?
So Constellation Field, again, we are a AAA affiliate of the Houston Astros. The ballpark, it's just simply amazing. It's an open air stadium. There is an on-site playground for the kids located right next to a bar, which is really nice. There's a splash pad as well, so the kids can play. You can grab a drink with your friends. It's just a really great environment. A lot that I have to say about Sugar Land. It's more about the people. The people here are just great. It's a very tight-knit community. I would like to say that a lot of people come back to raise their families here. So definitely anything you do, definitely you're going to see families around. Sugar Land Town Square, there's some green space. They do movies in the park. Lots of great places to eat. And we have a lot of amazing coffee shops. So yeah, lots of hidden gems here.
Love that. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. I think our listeners will get a lot out of this case study, and I really appreciate you taking some time and tuning in from our number 3 city.
Thank you so much for having me, Amanda. It was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to the Livability Podcast, where we take you inside America's best cities. At Livability, we highlight the unsung awesomeness of small and mid-sized cities across the country. We also partner with communities to reach their target companies and potential residents through digital content and print magazine programs. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow, rate, and review this show wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also learn more about us at livabilitymedia.com. Have an idea for an upcoming episode? Email me at aellis@livability.com. Until next time, from Livability, I'm Amanda Ellis, sharing the stories of America's most promising places.